From taking on crocs, lions, and elephants to huge beasts taking out humans, here are some memorable hippo attacks. Number 10. River horse. Translated from the ancient Greek, that's what the name hippopotamus means. And while they can run fast like horses, the hippopotamus is more closely related to crustaceans like whales. It's no secret that hippos can attain some massive sizes. The largest specimens have been documented to weigh more than 7,000 pounds or 2.3 thousand kilograms. As far as extant land mammals go, only elephants and some species of rhinos are bigger. They have the speed to complement their size, along with sharp ivory tusks that can measure more than 20 inches long or 50 centimeters. And those choppers are not just for show. Given all that, you'd have to imagine that hippos are widely regarded as one of the most dangerous animals on the planet, and they are. Hippos are responsible for killing thousands of humans every year in Africa. But as we'll learn, their bad tempers and aggression can be turned loose on plenty of other species too. Number 9. Proof positive. If you need proof that hippos are incredibly powerful, consider this story from 2014. A boat that was transporting at least 18 people across the Niger River was flipped by one of these beasts. 13 people died in the attack. Game wardens said the hippo might have had calves in tow and viewed the boat as a threat. In such a situation, hippos are known to become extremely aggressive and will even attack cattle that come to graze near the Niger River's banks. Number 8. Too close for comfort. While taking pictures on the shoreline of Lake Naivasha, about 60 miles or about 100 kilometers of Nairobi, 2 male tourists from Taiwan were suddenly attacked by a hippo. The 2018 incident left one of the men with only minor cuts and bruises, but his friend was bitten by the huge animal, which caused him to bleed profusely. According to the Kenya Wildlife Service, he later died at the hospital. Officials say that the attack happened when the 2 men got too close to the hippo when they were in a pasture taking its picture. Such an attack isn't unheard of since the animals are so territorial. Rising water levels in the region have reduced pastures available to hippos and forced them onto land near hotels and farms. In this case, it was a tragic end for the tourist and for the hippo as well. Wildlife Service officials confirmed that the attacking hippo was shot and killed. Do you think they did the right thing? Number 7. Maternal instinct. What happens when a hippo tangles with the king of the jungle? In this case, 2 of the big cats went after a herd of hippos as they emerged from the water. It all went wrong after the lions tried to go after an isolated hippo calf. That's when the calf's angry mum galloped in to save the day and chase off the predators. One of the lions had even managed to leap onto a large baby and start bringing it to the ground. But once it saw the huge adult hippo coming its way, the lions decided it was time to exercise some discretion and turn tail to escape. The mother hippo and her calf left the area and headed into the bushes. None of the parties seemed to suffer any type of injury, unless you count the lion's damaged ego. Number 6. Pestering the pachyderms. There aren't many creatures on Earth that can confront an African bull elephant and live to brag about it. But a mother hippo did just that when she and her calf got too close to the beast at a private game reserve in Namibia. The hippo stood her ground to protect her calf, but the agitated elephant attacked her by lifting her with his trunk and flipping her several feet in the air. That serves to give you some idea of the elephant's sheer power. An adult female hippo can weigh more than 3,000 pounds or 1.3 thousand kilograms. While the mother hippo rolled into nearby water, her calf managed to escape to the safety of its pod or herd. Amazingly enough, the hippo mum came out of the battle with only some bruises on her body. Number 5. Strange relations. Since we're about halfway through the episode, we thought we'd take a moment to clear up some misconception about hippos being related to rhinos or elephants, which can also be some dangerous beasts. Given the similarities in their size, build and temperaments, you'd think that hippos and rhinos in particular would be close relatives, but hippos are most closely related to whales. It turns out that these semi-aquatic animals shared a common ancestor with the larger marine mammals. That common ancestor lived more than 50 million years ago before it diverged into 2 branches. One branch developed into today's whales and dolphins, while the other branch evolved into the modern-day hippos. Experts say that our modern-day versions don't look that dissimilar from their distant relatives. The main difference would be in their size. Today's hippos have a slightly larger build overall. Number 4. Triple threat. Here's a question you've probably never thought about. Which animal would win in a death match involving a wildebeest, a crocodile, and a hippo? As it happens, an encounter like that did occur in South Africa, so we might have an answer. When a female wildebeest was drinking from a river at Sabi Sand Game Reserve, a crocodile attacked and clawed its jaws onto its neck. But as the hungry reptile tried to drag its potential meal into the river, a hungry hippo suddenly appeared and tried to snatch away the wildebeest for itself. That led to the two fearsome beasts fighting one another over the feeding rights to the wildebeest, which by now had expired. Witnesses to the event say the struggle lasted for nearly an hour as the croc and the hippo attacked and counterattacked one another. We're told the crocodile actually outlasted the hippo and took the wildebeest. The story is made even more amazing because while hippos are fearsome behemoths, they're normally thought to be herbivores, not meat eaters. Number 3. Swallowed alive. In a story that kind of echoes Jonah and the whale, a man was attacked and swallowed by a hippo on the Zambezi River in Africa. But in an unexpected twist, the guy managed to survive. It happened in 1996 when Paul Templar was working as a river guide. He was leading a group of tourists when the 4,000-pound or nearly 2,000-kilogram hippo suddenly attacked him. If you've ever wondered what it would be like to be mauled by one of these beasts, Mr. Templar describes it this way. It was like he instantly lost his sight and hearing. There was a stench like rotten eggs as he felt he was trapped in something slimy. When he could move enough to feel the hippo's bristly snout, he knew that he was underwater, and trapped up to his waist in the critter's mouth. He managed to escape, but at quite a cost. Templar lost his arm, and he suffered nearly 40 bite marks and puncture wounds across his body. As bad as that was, it could have been worse. A fellow tour guide was killed by the attacking hippo. Number 2. Surviving a hippo attack. So we've had plenty of examples of just how lethal these animals can be, but have you ever wondered how anyone might survive an encounter by one of these behemoths? We just told you about the tour guide who survived an encounter by fighting off a hippo, and just ahead we'll tell you about a guy who managed to outrun a hippo, in a manner of speaking. Actually, that is a great survival tip should you ever face the semi-aquatic beast. Run. Consider that their jaws are strong enough to chomp a 10-foot, 3-meter croc in half, and that should have plenty of incentive to be a hasty retreat. But many experts offer some other smart, if simple advice. Avoid confronting the animals in the first place. By all means, stay clear of the calves, especially if they're near the water. And if you see a hippo yawn at you, it's not a sign of boredom, it's a sign for you to back off. If you do run, seek out some natural cover like hills or trees. Once you've gained enough distance, the critter should relent. Remember, the hippo only wants you out of its territory. Number 1. Angry, hungry hippo. What happens when you get between an animal and its food? You get images along these lines, which have inspired countless internet memes. In 2009, a gamekeeper at Murchison Falls National Park in Uganda made the mistake of interrupting a massive hippo while it was chowing down on its grass lunch. Luckily, it wasn't a fatal mistake as he managed to escape. He was lucky too, since as we know, hippos can run at speeds of 19 miles per hour or 30 kilometers per hour. Had he been caught, the man likely would have become lunch himself. As it was, doing an impression of the world's fastest human, Usain Bolt, was enough to get away. But for the record, hippos are faster than Mr. Bolt too. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications for our next video. Cheers!